Hey y'all, we are back, and just for intents and purposes, we're going to put on more of this. We just did this as a video, our base face, and I realized how much I missed, like just talking through like what I'm doing and why. So we're going to use our lethal BYOP. This is the one that's named Anxiety, and this is what it looks like, y'all. This is beautiful. This is Monarch, the UV reactive one that I said I would not get rid of because it is UV reactive. And this one is Thorn, which is the color of second cousins MOT All-Stars cheerleading team. Her competition was this weekend, and when I'm not able to go, I represent from home, and I always send first cousin her mom a picture, and she is just so thrilled. She's like, "You are just so supportive, thank you." Like, if I can't be there, I'm gonna represent from here. I will still wear the shirts. So the reason this is called Anxiety is this shade right here. This is a dual chrome, it's black base, it is dark. It is that typical burgundy to green shift, but because it's black base, y'all, it's neat. It's a very dark color. And the first time I used it, I'm pretty sure I used the Hourglass number 3 brush, which is wide, which is a brush I'll use when I'm doing the entire lid. And when I'm not, I'll use Esom V27. This is the newer one, black handle, angled bristles. The older ones are the silver handle and the bristles are not angled. And so I went in with the Hourglass number 3 brush. I put it on. I was like, ooh, I wasn't ready. And it took over the look. The look to me was kind of busted, but when I look back, I actually do like it because it's like that messy grunge that I say I love, that I don't do that often. But that's why they named this Anxiety, because I had only used this shade once, and I was just like, it's too much for me. But I'm not anxious anymore. And so when they named the palette, and I have switched it since then, but the bases are still the same. Yeah, so when I use it again, I'm like, okay, get a grip. Just use a smaller brush. Just use a smaller brush. This is really rich. It's showing up. This is what I see in person, is that dark forest green, and here it is a lighter green. I don't know if that's just the light or because I have on a lot of lights. Excuse me. And I love how this looks with that. This has a green base to it. But we're going to use this today. This is a dual chrome as well. I don't remember what it shows up as, and so we're going to use it for something. And sometimes I will just use a shade just to see what color is this going to be. So we're going to prime the eye, do the intro. Yeah. Y'all being silly. I'm excited. I really enjoyed doing this base face tutorial. So hello again and welcome. My name is Dion. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. The crazy, knowing it's okay to be your authentic self in a world where people will tell you who and how you should be. I'm here to tell you, just be who you are and just rock it. Just rock it. Just be who you are. It's very freeing to not live up to or continue to try to live up to someone else's expectations. The troll part of the crazy troll nation is not caring too much about beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you need to use a certain brand, a certain tool, or a certain technique because that's what they're saying in the video you're watching. Listen, use whatever you want to, however you want to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. Here we believe in self-acceptance and self-love, embracing our natural features, enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like you have to. Just wake up knowing that you're amazing the way you look. And if you want to play your makeup, just play your makeup. I don't consider makeup a need at all, but the want can be very strong. And I do enjoy just seeing like what else can I do, or what other look can I do with this palette. You saw that, maybe not, I didn't say, Urban Decay Primer Potion. And this is Max Paint Pot and Groundwork. So I do put this on top of primer, and I like what it does. Like, it really holds shadow. And let me finish the intro. Here we believe in self-acceptance and self-love, embracing our natural features, enhancing them if we want to, when we want to, but not feeling like we have to. And I did say that part, but I had to say it again to get to where I was, because I'd be like, where was I? Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint. 2 things about me. Sometimes I curse because sometimes I curse. And the other thing is there's an organism named Bruce that lives in my throat that randomly hiccups, gurgles, and belches. I try to be aware of him to say excuse me, but sometimes I'm not aware. So if you hear him trying to make an appearance, or not trying, but hearing him make an appearance, and I don't say excuse me, it's because I was not aware. So forgive me and it ahead of time. So, and I just realized I didn't do the intro when I did this base face. A lot of links down below, discount codes, all of that stuff. Feel free to use them. Feel free to share them. Feel free to save them for future use. So we're going to put this, I think I might want to just put that under my brow. I have, I believe, eyeliner in my eye. What are we going to do? I'm thinking this, and that. But even this, and this would be nice. Like, there are just options. We're going to use this for our transition area just because I don't use that often, and I do just want to see how it's going to look up here. This is very bold, so I'm wondering if this is as bold, because usually for me, like oranges and like lime greens or bright yellows, when I put them on, they're like kind of barely there, but they make for a nice thin line of color or to blend shadow in that area. So, well, we could just go for it and just use these two. We're going to take, that was the first thing I said, wasn't it? We're going to take this one. I want to see what this looks like. And I think we're going to put this under the brows. And to me, this, I want to say it looks like a duochrome, but it does have like a green base to it. This shade, where's my paper? Hi, my name is Dion. I'm a label hoe. This shade is, yeah, I did just say that. This shade is Idle. And so we're just going to just, okay, let me show you again. Swipe twice, press. Lethal just works for me. Lethal Cosmetics just work for me. And then if I want to blend it out or take it further, I will. It just works for me. Like, I don't have to put effort. Except for like shades like this. But for the most part, like, I don't have to do too much. And again, this is the Esom V23. No, it's not. Esom V27. Angled brush, angled bristles, black handle. The older ones, it is not angled, and it has the silver handle. And even though I have like 8 of these, I love my angled brushes. So I'm like, I'm getting it. Did I say angled brushes? I feel like I said angled brushes, and I feel like I said that before. Angled brushes. So we're going to put that one down, go to the next color. We're going to take this one just because we're going to be funky in a good way. We're going to take this one and then move over to the green. Sometimes, just do something different, or just do something that you think may not look right, and just be like, let's just see. It's only makeup. If you don't like it, well, either if you like it or not, eventually you're going to wash it off. This shade is called Heather, and I feel like I've been doing that more lately. Oh, I don't know. Let's just put it on and see. Like, just experiment with your makeup. And I am an advocate for experiencing with your makeup. Because I have hooded eyelids, when I look at you, you see a sliver of my mobile lid. The mobile lid is from here to the crease. This is the crease, but mine is under the hood. I have hooded eyelids. A hooded eye is where you don't even see the mobile lid at all. You just see this, and then you see their eyeball. And so I don't have hooded eyes. I have hooded eyelids. And I do like this. This is a subtle color. That's pretty. So we're going to put this over here. And again, this is Heather. And so I use brushes according to like what it is I'm trying to do with the color. And going back to when I used that Hourglass number 3, whew, it does make it easier to do a wider area. But for when I'm doing like 3 or 4 colors on a lid, I don't need to take up that much space for that one color. This to me looks like it has some blue in it. This shade. That's pretty. So what I was going to say is, because I have hooded eyelids, I take my lid shades up to here, as you see, so that you can still see it without me necessarily needing to look down or raise my brows. Because other people with hooded eyelids, they will just put the lid shade right here, and then they look up and say, isn't it pretty? And I'm thinking, I can't see it. I want mine to be seen. And so that's why I take it up here. And this is part of the transition area. But do your makeup however you're comfortable doing your makeup. Now we're going to go, into that shade. This is Nebula. All right, y'all look. And I know there's a thing with pinks and greens and even oranges and greens. We're going to leave this like this for now. We are going to come back and blend it. This is a creamy shade. Looking at it, you can see, and this is creamy as well. You can see the brush strokes in it. So it's not that I use it a lot. It's just very creamy. So compared to these two that we used, you can't really tell that I used it except the emblem. You don't see the emblem in it. You see it a little bit here, but none here. But that may be because of the color of it. But this is super creamy. And yeah. And so I'll put a little bit and then do the other side and then go back and blend it. Because whatever's in the brush, if I keep going, it's likely to get out of control. It's going to get away from me because it is such a bold, soft color. And so we're going to bring it out over here some. Y'all, this is, man. I imagine somebody saying this is a nice spring look because of the green and the pink. And I don't really always, well, I seldom do looks for the seasons unless it's like a collab and that's the prompt or something like that. But I can see someone saying that because it looks like a flower. We are going to, actually we're going to go back to the brush that has the pink on it. And we're going to pull that, actually we're going to feather in between to blend these two shades together. And I didn't do this with the green, the brush that had the green on it, because it would have moved more of the green because there's still green in the brush. Now keep in mind, we did not add more pink on this shadow. The pink is the shadow. We didn't add more pink on this brush, but look at what it did. And this is why I don't color switch, and this is why I have so many brushes. Like I said, I have like 8 of these. Because I'll go back to it. Because if I had color switched, and I don't have anything against color switching, I don't. And all the brushes I have, it is not necessary. So don't think I'm saying that. It's what works for me. If I had color switched it to clean it, I would have to go back in with more color. Where this way, I don't have to. Oh, this is nice. We're going to go back with the brush with the green because this side looks a little bit higher up. We're not adding more shadow to the brush. We're just going to lightly, because this is a bold shade, we're just going to lightly feather up here just to bring it up a little bit more. And that's what we're going to do with that. And so I'm looking to see, do they stop at about the same place, even though we are going to put that darker shade over here. I like this combination. And so again, I advocate for experimenting with your makeup if you are just curious. Like I'm like, oh, let's just put it on and see what happens. If you don't like it, you can always just cover it up with something else. Like just have fun with your makeup. And even though it's serious, it is not that serious where it's like, oh my God, like I cannot quote unquote mess up. And I say quote unquote mess up because you're the one that decides how you want your makeup to look. It's not for somebody to be like, oh, you shouldn't have did that. Worry about your own face. Now we're going to take this one, Dark Matter. Y'all, this is so creamy. You see that hole in it? Not a hole, but yeah, it just deep breath. It's going to be okay. This is definitely a creamy shade too. And so we are going to start here because that's where we're going to have our line. And then we're going to push it upward. Okay. A little at a time. And I'm going lightly. I am going lightly because this will get away from me in a not good way. And so this is the side that has the shadow on it. And so we are just creating our line. And we are going to come back and probably add more. So this one we are going to go ahead and overlap it with that green because we did not put a lot of dark matter on. And I'm digging it. I am pressing to get more of the shadow in this pocket down here. So we're going to just go straight in and just wiggle just a little bit to get it right here. But this shade, that first time I used it, I was shooketh. And that look was busted. This is pretty. So we're going to, what was that, 5, 6 swipes. We're going to come here first because this is going to be our line here. And then we're going to press upward onto the mobile lid, into the crease, and up here to the transition area. And we're going to take the tip of the brush and bring it up here to do our shape. We are going to go back in and put more on the brush. And because I did go so lightly, like it is not a lot on this brush. Like I really learned like just a little at a time because it seriously will run away. And so we're just putting some, we're keeping our line. We're pressing upward into the green, upward and over into the green. And this side is further up here. So we're going to swipe lightly. And this may be for all creamy shades. I don't know. We'll just do a little at a time. Because even if it's a light shade, if I didn't want it in a certain place and I'm using a wide brush or just, putting a lot on the brush, it's still going to get away from what it is that I'm trying to do. So we're trying to just straighten out this line right here. And I feel like I'm going curved, whereas here it's always straight. And also, if I don't have primer out here, it's not really going to stick too well. But, so we're going to go back and forth and bring this up here. And we're going to go back and forth over the green to blend. Just feathering lightly. This is nice. We're going to lightly, and then we're going to bring this up here because this side is more rounded, where this side is straight. And so I am intentionally rounding. And I always like the straight side better, but I need to just be more mindful of the shape that I'm doing. So we're going to swipe twice, and we're going to bring this up here. And I am rounding it. And also, we're going to, whatever's on the tip of the brush, we're going on the top edge of that green, whatever's on the tip of this brush. And so that's what we're looking like. What did I say I was going to put up here? That orange? I'm looking at the shapes. This is not the shape I want. And I could easily just take a thinner brush, like something like this, to make sure that I get the shape that I want. But I just don't. But that would make a lot of sense. And there are times when I will switch brushes to a different shape or size brush. This is pretty. Right now I'm looking at the space between the lid shades and my brow, seeing like how much space, is the space equal? This is still more straight, but that's okay because you can only see one side of my face at a time. Somebody told me one time that when I look at my face, I see both sides. I'm like, when I look at my face, just like if you're looking straight at my face, because they were saying, it didn't make sense to me. They were saying how when they looked at me like straight, they couldn't see both sides of my face. And they said, when I look at my face straight on, I can see both sides of my face. Well, if you can't, then how can I? Like looking at myself right now, I don't see all of this over here. And so it really didn't make sense when they said that. And the situation was that they did my makeup and one eye shape was different than the other. And they said because when they look at me straight, they don't see both sides of my face. But when I look straight, I see both sides of my face. I'm like, no, I don't. So I'm looking at the space. It seems somewhat the same. I would not say exact. This brush might be too big for that. It looks like I have more space up here than on the other side. So we're actually going to take the brush that had the green on it. And we're just going to feather at the top edge of that green. And that will bring the shadow up a little bit. Okay. Do I want to do the other side? Let's do the other side. We are going to take, y'all, if this shade is bold, we said we were going to take the orange, didn't we? Okay, we're going to tap straight in. And we're gonna, let's start in the middle. Because wherever you touch down first is where you're gonna get the most shadow. Because usually I just start in a corner and I'm like, no, that might be too much. I was gonna tap off and then I didn't. So we're just going very lightly. This is the ESUM. It is not. It's the Sigma E45. And I always want to say ESUM because it starts with a letter E as far as the letter and number. But this is a E45 from Sigma. And I love this brush for this because it's tapered. And you see I'm just using just the tip of the brush. If I'm using a wider, if I want to do a wider area, I will just turn it sideways. That's nice. So we're tapping straight in twice. You see the shadow just on the tip. We're going to start somewhere in the middle and then go all the way out and all the way in. I like this. I like this. And you can see the difference, I think. And we didn't do feathering like we're doing now to like blend it into the top edge of the lid shades, but now we are. And I don't know if you can notice the difference between how this looks here and how this looks over here. This is nice. This is why I advocate, y'all. Just try new things. Try new things. And this is what I thought it would do. This is a bold shade. So if I wanted to put this on my lid, then I would use a packer brush, similar to the brushes I use to do my lid shades, or the Hourglass number 3 if I wanted to do the entire lid. Just tapped one time. And just feather it here. Yeah, this did exactly what I thought it would do. And it does depend on the brush. It depends on how much pressure you put on the brush when you're blending it on or putting it on. And it also depends on the type of brush that you use. So there's a lot of little factors into how your makeup looks to get it the way you want it to look. And when you know you have a very pigmented or very opaque shadow, your technique and the brushes you use will make a difference. Or just use your finger. I know people who use their fingers for makeup. That's fine too. And so we're on this line, the top line of the lid shades. So we're going to put that down. We're going to take this brush and we're going to go into, that was Monarch if I didn't say, I know I said it earlier, but that was Monarch. Now we're going to take this shade, which is FRB, and we're going to put that under our brow. I do like a strip of light under my brow. I don't know when that happened. Look at that. Seems like my toilet, when it runs like that, it's getting louder and louder, or maybe just because it's so quiet in here. And it reminds me, you know, put in a work order for it, but then I keep forgetting to put in a work order for it. Because inside where the rubber piece covers the hole, like inside the tank, all the way around, that round piece is freed. And so that's what sets it off to make that noise. And it happens quite often, but then, let me forget. So it's like you don't see much of it, but then when you turn, whew. So what are we gonna do for lower lash line? And what are we gonna do for upper lash line? Upper lash line, believe it or not, I'm thinking of just using a black. And I don't use black often. But I think we're going to use a black because this is a nice dark look. This is Black Mirror Paint Pot from MAC. So I'm taking that out. Do we want to do 2 shades on lower lash line? So far we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shades for the upper eye area. So for the bottom, we're going to go all the way funky. We're going to take Thorn. This is the other UV reactive shadow. And we're going to put this on the first half of lower lash line. Yeah, so just try different things, different color combinations. Even if you don't know how is this going to turn out, like just do it. I like how this turns like a purple over this liner I have under here. Did I tell y'all? Inner rims we have from MAC Stay the Night, upper and lower, and for lower lash line we have on Hellbent. And I like how it's turning this hot pink into like a purple. And this is usually exciting for me, putting a shadow on top of a pencil eyeliner, because I don't know, is it going to change the color, or like what is going to do, or what color is it going to change into? Like I never know. And some shades are so bold that it completely like just eats the liner color, and you don't even see the liner color at all. And then there's shades like this one. This is pretty. That you can still see something underneath it, but it ends up just looking like that's the color. You know what I mean? So now we're going, do I want to take that further? Yes, I do. So we're going to go back into that. We're going to put that also like in the center. Because we're going to take a dark shade to put on the outer corner, and I don't want to bring it like this far in. So we're going to take a clean one. And by the way, this is the Fenty 220 brush. I love this for the lash line. Excuse me. It's also good for detailed work. It's called their precision brush, and it is very precise. And so it's tapered, but the shape of it is, it's just I don't know what to call it. But this would be good too for outer corner because it is tapered this way. Sorry for poking you in the eye. You can just draw your lines and then go back and fill it in. But I really do love this brush, and I have 4 of them. I use them always for mostly always lower lash line. We're going to take, this is Nocturnal. So we're just going to tap in since we're using the tip of the brush. And then we're going to bring this out here. And I have become a fan of pulling my lower lash line shadow over to there, to the end of the winged shadow we did for the eye look. And I don't know when I started doing that, but and it does blend in, which is cool. Sometimes it doesn't, and that's cool too. And so this brush is really good for this. And I'm not saying get this brush. Whatever brushes do what you want them to do, that's the brush that you use. Because you'll hear, oh, if you want to do this, you have to get this brush. No, you don't. No, you don't. This is nice. I keep thinking when I look up here that there's a pocket missing of color, but it's not. It's that dual chrome aspect of it that's doing that. Y'all, this is nice. And I am going lightly with this brush because this is a dark shade. All right, we're going to put that down. We're going to put that down. So what did we say? 6 up top, 2 underneath. So we use 8 shades. This is why me and Quince don't get along, because I always wanted to do more stuff. And we are going to take Black Mirror Paint Pot from MAC with the MAC 210 brush, and we're going to put this on. Paint pots are designed to be shadow bases. Fluid lines are designed to be, I should say formulated to be eyeliner, but I use them interchangeably. So having the black paint pot, I did not get the black fluid line. And because I have the fluid line in brown, I did not get the paint pot in brown. The paint pots, because they're formulated to be shadow bases, they are a little more dry in texture than the fluid lines, but they're not drying. And it makes sense because if you're a shadow base, you know, you need to have some stick-to-itiveness to it for whatever you're putting on it to stick. And that was Groundwork Paint Pot that I did put on top of the eye primer. But again, I use them interchangeably. I will use a fluid line for a shadow base. And as you see, I'm using the paint pot that's formulated to be a shadow base as an eyeliner. If I had to pick, if I had to choose, I would just work with the fluid lines just because they are a little bit more creamy. And that's something that I learned over time. But knowing I was going to use them interchangeably, again, that's why I didn't get the black fluid line. But whenever I run out of this, which who knows, when I run out of it, then maybe I will just get the fluid line. I'm not sure. Yeah. Thank you for being here with me tonight. I took out a pack of ground turkey 2 nights ago to make some more sauce. And then the day my neighbor said her and her mom were going to that Jamaican place that I told y'all about, main dish. She was like, I'm taking Mom there today. Do you want something? And I was like, so I ordered, so she was like, just text me what I want so I don't forget. Well, text me what you want so I don't forget. So I did. And so before I had oxtails and curry goat, so I know I love that. And so I didn't want to get that again. And having had the curry goat, I know I'm going to like the curry chicken unless the chicken is dry or something. And so I got jerk chicken and of course cabbage and of course rice and peas. Oh, it is so good. I ate a little bit for breakfast. And I don't even want to make that sauce now. And not that I always eat the sauce or make pasta and eat the sauce when I make it. But I don't even feel like cooking. But I'm going to cook it. Because today I believe is the second day that it's been thawed. And so it could wait another day to cook. And my refrigerator's cold. So like there's not a concern that it's going to go bad unless it's like the 5th or 6th, 7th day. But I'm like, and it doesn't take long to cook. So it's just like, girl, just make it. Beyond Mascara from City Beauty. And I didn't pull out a lip. Y'all know I love a black lip. If you've been here, you know I love a black lip. Oh, excuse me. I don't know what that was. Or do a black lip and put... No, because I was thinking of putting this first shade. But because that's so bright, I'm not sure I want that for this lip look. And I feel like I want to do something different than a black lip, even though that's my favorite lip color. And I think I'm just in an experimenting mood, just like these colors. Just put them on and see what they do. Yeah. What they do. So I think that's probably what I'm feeling like, or why I'm feeling like that. I really like how this look turned out. So just put on colors. Just be like, let's just see how this looks. Because that first shade I used, and then going with the pink, and then the green, and then dark matter for the outer corner. Let's do it. And that orange as a upper transition shade, and then that gold for the highlight under my brow. Just try different things, y'all. You'll learn one of 3 things. You'll learn, okay, I am never doing that again. Ever, ever, ever. Or you might be like, you know what? If I would have did such and such. So if I do it again, I would tweak it. All right, that's the second thing you might learn. Well, the second of 3 things you'll learn. And the third thing will be like, wow, like this is friggin' amazing. You know what I'm saying? So either I hit myself up here. I've been hitting myself a lot lately with this wand. Like the last couple weeks. So you'll learn like, okay, don't ever do that shit again. Or you'll learn, okay, I would, but I would tweak it. Or it'll be like, wow, I absolutely love it. So just try stuff. Because if you do something and you're like, oh wow, I would tweak it next time. Or if you learn, oh wow, I like it, then do it again or something similar. Or it may also encourage you. I'm taking a brush that had that pink on it because there's a mascara mark right there. And we're just going to just feather that speck of mascara away. And we're going to wipe off some of the lip oil. So once you start experimenting with makeup, if you usually don't, and more often than not, you're like, oh, I would do it again, but I would tweak it. Or it's like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. I would like to think that that would encourage you to experiment more. You know what I'm saying? I want to do a black lip, and maybe we'll just put a gloss on top. This eye look is colorful. Like, I like this look. Excuse me. Be all the way out the box. Like, girl. We're going to use, I love dark lipsticks. We're going to put on Rune from Notoriously Morbid. 15% off code down below. I love a black lip. And we're going to put something else from Notoriously Morbid on top of it. Okay. I was trying to see if it's... I smelled it a second time because I was trying to remember if it smelled like this before. It doesn't smell bad. Because some of their lipsticks smell really sweet, like candy. And then some don't. And this one doesn't smell sweet. I don't know. I don't know now. It's smelling a little bit like burnt toffee, and I don't think it smelled like that before. They do hand make their lipsticks. Look how easy this is. I don't. I'm gonna look back on another video and see what I say about how it smelled. Because if it smells different, that means it's starting to turn. I opened this July 17, 2025. And I know this because I'm a label hoe. And I got it to compare it to my MAC one. So this is the lip. That's a freckle. What am I going to put on top of it? Click join. It'll show you the membership perks. It will not automatically join you. I put this on top of the black before and it just ate it. It just made it look a little shiny. And if the perks appeal to you, then it'll guide you through how to actually join. I'm pretty sure I put this on top of it before, and I think this black kind of ate it too. And I do hope that the perks appeal to you. My favorite perk is members get to make a request, and they be giving me some good ones. I have a butterfly face to do. Wonder if I should put this on a sensor. We're gonna do that just to see, because I keep telling you, just to see. This one has a green base to it, and this one is a gray. So since we say the green, but we're gonna do the blue. I practice what I preach. I'm like, try something new. So we're gonna put this one on, and then we'll be done with this look. I'm excited to see like what happens. So it'll be like, wow, I like it. I would do it again, or girl, don't you ever. And there is no tweaking with this one because it's not like you could mix a batch. This shade is called Spectral Seas. I didn't put what it was described as because it was a long thing. And I'm like, okay, that's like, it would like take up all this space. I'm trying to put that label there. This smells like sweet rubber. I'm like, girl, I know. But yeah, I need to look back and see. Yeah, it smells sweet now that I have it closer to my nose, like consistently putting it on. I need to look back on a video where I used Rune and see how I think it smelled. Because there is a lipstick from them that does smell like burnt toffee. And it smelled like that from day one. But it wasn't Rune. You can see a little bit of the blue, but the black is kind of eating it. And you see I'm being careful like where I put it. This, I like it. I like it. Try new things, y'all, please. So I'm doing now is making sure the top stops where the blue stops. Where the bottom, what am I saying? I'm excited. I'm looking to make sure that the blue stops in the same place on the upper and lower lip. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. I get so excited. So you see the blue. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's a line right here. Does anybody care? Does anybody care? See, now I messed it up. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a black lip liner. Take caviar from back. And ta-da. I usually don't line my lips. And half the time when I do is to clean up something. Because for me, liquid lipsticks don't bleed. Girl, I can see the blue. That's nice. I would do that again. So y'all, this is the look. Let me know what y'all think. I'm really digging this. And I'm glad that we did try new things. And so again, this is what anxiety looks like. Yes, I took a picture. So we're going to go. Let me know. Are you inspired to just try something new? Just put it on just to see. And I really do like how Monarch, that orange, looks up there. So we're going to go. Do subscribe if you're not already. Consider joining the membership. And then join the membership. Make sure you like and share. And remember, there's a lot of links and codes down below. And for Notoriously Morbid, there is a 15% off code. So, as always, self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you'll see me soon.